Do you want a way to take this egg and help it make your tomato plants grow even better? Let me show you what I do. There are many ways that you can do this. This is what I'm going to do. We're going to dehydrate our eggshells for calcium supplement for our garden. Why am I doing what I'm doing? I want to make sure that I get as much of the egg residue off of these as possible, because what I don't want is to do anything else with a bunch of raw egg in it. Is it going to be perfect? No, but we're going to do the best we can, trying to get out as much as we can before we do more. You might want to go ahead and just boil these for 2 or 3 minutes in boiling water. That will take care of a lot of this, and as you boil it, you can skim off the top. The stuff that comes to the top, you're going to have like egg whites and stuff that come up to the top. You can do that as well. It's whatever's going to work easiest for you. We're going to go ahead and just take this, and you can see how dirty that water is. That's just all of the egg residue that's coming out. So just drain that, and no worries about this. It's all going to get sanitized later in the dishwasher. So, because I love using my OXO to get rid of as much moisture as humanly possible before you start any other project. There are eggs. There's most of the extra moisture. I've spread these out on a cookie sheet because what we'll do now is we're going to bake these in the oven for about 20 minutes. What we're really trying to do is make sure they are good and dry. You can do this in a dehydrator. Today, I actually am going to do this in the oven because I have food already in the dehydrator. And even though we're very, very careful about trying to make sure we don't cross-contaminate, I don't want to put these in with food. I'm going to break these down just a little bit more to make sure that we can get all the layers out. Now, what is the oven method going to accomplish with this? Not only is it going to accomplish getting everything good and sanitized, it's going to get it completely dry so that when we go through and do the powdering, we won't have to worry about any moisture whatsoever. So we're going to start with about 30 minutes. All right, so we've taken our eggshells out of the oven. Not only are they good and dry, okay, they shatter like that. You don't want this to be hot, nor do you want there to be any residual moisture left in here at all. So we're going to get to powdering. I'm going to fill my cup. I know that some people do this for their chickens. They give their chickens the shells to help with calcium buildup in the chickens. We're going to powder this with calcium for our garden, specifically for our tomato plants. Okay, after forgetting to hit the record button, here's what we've got. We've got all of those eggs made about half of a small pint jar of egg calcium powder, or egg shell powder, which is basically calcium. That's what you're using it for. So I wanted to give you a little warning about what I did. If you can see here, after I ran one session, I opened it, filled it with more eggs, closed it, and went on. So the second time I did it, when I tried to open this, taking off the lid like this, it stuck. It took a little while to get it off, but I got it off fine. Then I cleaned what I was thinking of, cleaning the outside would take care of it. But I didn't clean the inside of the threads, and then I ran it again. So there were two things that happened. One, I could not get the lid off the second time. My husband tried, we tried with some channel locks, we tried with everything and could not get the lid off. And finally went ahead and put this in the freezer, and after about 10 minutes, it came off. There are two things that could have happened. The amount of calcium, or the amount of eggshell, the powdered eggshell, getting in here inside the threads and inside the threads on this lid could have caused a problem, and I probably overheated this a little bit, which made the threads get swollen, and then the eggshell powder on here also just created a coming together of an issue that created that problem. So let me warn you, I have never ever had this happen before, ever, in all the powders that I've ever done. So a blender would probably be a better bet to do this with, because it can run longer. The problem I was going to have with it is that the etching that's going to happen to plastic with these eggshells, just the same way if you're doing seeds or hard dehydrated items, running those things around that centrifuge on the inside of the jar is going to etch it some, and I don't want to do that to my Vitamix. So Just a warning, fair warning out there for you. All right, so here is our eggshell powder. We're gonna go add this to our tomatoes. All right, so here we go. I just added about a tablespoon to each plant-ish. That's about what it needs. And that's just going to add some extra calcium. We're going to let the weather take care of trying to get this integrated into the dirt.
All right, so now what do you do with all those eggs you just emptied? Watch this video right here where I show you how I preserve eggs, and I'll see you again next time.